Hello everyone, welcome back. I was supposed to start this video earlier this morning and I'm just now getting started on it now. I am a huge procrastinator. Like in high school, I would wait until basically the 10-minute waiting period before classes to do the homework. And in college, I would always wait until the night before to write whatever 3 or 4 page paper I had to write. Some of them were very important to my grade, but oh well. I even in college, instead of doing work, made a video about procrastination, which is on this channel that you can go see. Procrastination is not something that has translated really well to the real world and jobs. I have had to learn ways to get better at organizing my life, and that's what I want to talk about today. I don't know if organizing is interesting or not. I find it interesting. So for my job, I was making 6 videos a month, and I was doing everything. You know, I was writing it, and I was shooting it, and I was editing it, and I was publishing it. That can sort of start to build up and get to be very stressful, and so I had to then find some ways to mediate that and try and find some ways to get organized so that I could feel like I was in more control over what I was doing and not like I was spiraling out of control. I think if I knew some of this stuff when I was in high school and when I was in college, then I would have made things a lot easier for myself, and I would have paradoxically been able to do more fun things, which was why I was procrastinating in the first place. I read a couple books, The Organized Mind, and I read Getting Things Done, which are both fantastic books, and I recommend them. That is where I got a lot of these ideas from. Basically, my problem was that there was so much stuff that I needed to do that it was hard to keep track of. It all started to pile up, and then it just becomes this stressful thing. And one of the things that this book, The Organized Mind, talks about is that, especially today, there's so much information floating around, and we're not very good at handling that. The book goes into the biology of the brain and how it all works and everything. But basically the best thing for us to do is externalize all of that stuff in our brain that we need to remember. We put our car keys in the same spot so we know where to find them, and why we make lists for picking up groceries. Using things like lists and calendars and to-dos and whatever is actually really important for just getting everything out of your brain so that it doesn't feel all jumbled. And then from there you have to sort of organize things into what you want to get done and how you're going to get that stuff done. So let me tell you about the system that I'm sort of using right now. And just as a disclaimer, I'm crazy, so this is maybe a lot. You don't have to use all of this. You can use some parts of this if you want. I just wanted to share with you what I use to sort of keep track of everything in my life so that it just doesn't get overwhelming. You start with this project list, right? And this is professional projects and personal projects, and a project is basically just a thing you want to get done that requires more than one step. So you can have big projects and you can have small projects and you can have professional projects and personal projects, but the whole point is that it all goes in one place and you know where that place is. And I also have a category for just things I want to read, just so I can keep track of that. And at the bottom I have a someday list, which is basically things I'd like to get to at some point but can't really right now. So then the next thing that I do is I take all those projects and I write one down on a note card. You don't have to do note cards, you can do lists, whatever other way you want to do this to keep track of it. But it's basically just so that you know what it is you have to do. And then what I do is attached to each note card are other note cards that have individual action items on them. Things that you actually have to do to get stuff done. I take the project and I think, what is the exact next thing that I have to do to get this thing done? What is the very next step I have to take? And then you write that down on a note card. And then you think, what is the next thing I have to do? And then you write that down on a note card. And then you put all those note cards on the project note card. I sound like a maniac right now. And then when it comes time to work, then you can look at those note cards and you think, okay, this is the thing that I need to be doing right now. There's nothing else that is more important than what is on this note card or what is at the top of this list. Obviously, this may not be something that everyone needs, but I think organizing is important because if you want to be successful, you can't just expect to get by on doing the least work possible. You can't just procrastinate until the last minute and then put out good work consistently. It's just not gonna happen. And if you want to be really successful, then doing that least amount of work just isn't going to cut it. And I think that if you're struggling to get stuff done, then this can help you. And if not, then good for you. I do not have my life together, but every time that I do something that brings me a little bit closer, I feel a little bit better, I feel a little more in control, and I don't know, I like it. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments what else you want me to talk about, because I have a bunch of ideas, but I'm curious to know what you'd like to hear me talk about. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, you can donate to my Patreon. The link is in the description. And that's it. I will see you guys in the vlog on Thursday. There's an air mattress right here, and the place is a mess because I have people living with me right now. So look out for that on Thursday. I will see you then. Bye. A lot of people have been wondering. There's been some rumors going on, and I figured I would quell those today by talking about why I left BuzzFeed.